Hey guys, today I want to talk about budget variables. Now, a lot of you guys will probably say, what's a budget variable? Well, anyway, a lot of people that come over here, they don't realize when they come over here on their budget that there's going to be things that change. Some people do realize that. One of the biggest variables that most people are going to have is when you're younger, all your healthcare costs are obviously cheaper. Okay, like in your 50s, if you retired early, like me, healthcare costs are very, very cheap over here, exceptionally cheap. And as you get up into the 70s, it goes way up. And then what happens is some companies will start cutting you off from certain things. Like if you have pre-existing conditions, you're going to pay a lot more, or you get that cut out of your insurance and you take care of it on your own, or you just have it cut out and say, you know what, I'll live with it if I have let's say a stroke or something like that. Like if you have high blood pressure, they might cut that out and say, well, we won't cover anything having to do with high blood pressure. And sometimes that can really mess up your medical really, really bad. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. You need to have full coverage over here no matter what. And that's why I tell you, budgets will vary constantly over here. And as you age, it'll get more costly because you need more meds. You need to pay for more meds. And some of these insurance plans will cover it, some of them they won't. And if they see that they're paying out all kinds of money, what they'll do is they'll eventually just either cancel you, or they'll go up on the rate so high that it just gets ridiculous. Okay, so just be careful, guys, with insurance, all that stuff. The other thing is, also a lot of guys don't put into their budgets before they come over here. They don't figure that you have to give your girlfriend at least some money for clothing or whatever. I give my girlfriend $200 a month. She can take care of whatever she wants. If she wants to help her family, she wants to spend more money on food, she can. She can spend that $200. And then I give my girlfriend's daughter, she's like my daughter, I consider her my daughter, but I give her $200 a month for college, for her books, for her computers, whatever she needs to buy. If she needs to buy a new computer, she can save all that money. We sat down and we figured out exactly how much she's going to need and how often she's going to be buying things, clothing, uniforms, all that stuff. It came to about $200 a month for nursing. I find that a bargain, to be honest with you, but these are the costs that you're going to run into. If you come over here, you have a lot of issues. You smoke, you drink. That's gonna really boost your budget, and it's also gonna make your healthcare costs go up a lot too. A lot of guys they say, well, Steve, I'm living over here on 650, or I'm living over here on this. What they don't tell you is how they're really living, because they make it sound like it's a challenge or something like that. Or some of the guys will tell me, well, Steve, that's all I get. I can't raise that. I understand that. I do. I get that, and I feel for you guys, because some of you guys, a lot of you guys that come over here, you don't have that savings, and the only other choice is to go back to the States. And some of the states that you guys have come from don't have really good welfare benefits or whatever. I come from the state of Massachusetts, where they have excellent welfare benefits. And unfortunately, in the Philippines, we don't have any welfare benefits at all, period. And it's kind of sad that it's like that over here, but it is what it is. Some countries, when you go into a country as an expat, they do have certain benefits. The only benefit that they really have over here is they allow you to buy Phil Health. Okay, now if you're on the SRRV program, you can get the Phil Health and get a 5% discount. But is it decent? No, it only covers a little bit, and you don't get the Z package, which covers like strokes and heart attacks and cancer, or something like that. I'm not really up on that, so don't quote me on that. But I know the Z package is one of the most important things on Phil Health, and still it doesn't cover everything. So be aware of that. But a lot of the things change here. Here's another thing. Look at all these guys that live down in Cebu now. A lot of their houses got wiped out south of Cebu and in Cebu. There's a lot of housing issues with damage to properties and stuff. And a lot of those guys are going to have to move now because they don't have a house to live in, so they have to move somewhere else, and it drives the costs up now of housing down there, because there was so much damage in some of those areas. Not all of them, but in some of them, the areas are pretty bad, and it's hard to find another place to move to and move into. And also, you're probably going to pay a premium on top of that because of the fact that everybody's going to be wanting those homes now. So remember, when you come here, always have like a little excess in your budget to cover those budget variables, or have that expat emergency fund that we always talk about, and maybe even some extra. A lot of guys say, well, Steve, $10,000 is more than enough. No, it's not. If you're planning on living here the rest of your life, $10,000 really is not enough. because you have one good heart attack or one good stroke and you don't have enough coverage, $10,000 is not going to cover you. If you get cancer, it's not going to cover you. Can you go back to the States? Yeah, where are you going to live? You know, unless you're a veteran and you can stay in some sort of veteran housing or something like that, you know, basically you have no place to live. So, I mean, you have to consider all this stuff. There's all kinds of variables here. You could get robbed. You could get broken into. Stuff happens, you know. You know, crap happens. Like they say, it just does. You know, and you have to kind of expect those variables. And a lot of what happened, a lot of these people that are expats that you see in the streets had one of those happen to them, and suddenly, guess what? They're in the streets. They have no way to get back. They maybe their passport got stolen or destroyed in a calamity or whatever. You know, then you have to work with the embassy, and they probably won't even let you in there because you don't have any way to get in there. You have no idea whatever to get in there. So you have to. These are things that happen. They actually happen to people over here, and that's what you have to consider. Sometimes credit cards get shut off because they figure that you're living in another country. They see that you're always using your credit card in a country. Some credit cards have done that to people over here. You know, I had an account shut down by my bank. It didn't cause me that much of a problem because I didn't use it that much, and that was one of the reasons why they shut it down. They says, you know, I had to have so much money in there, but I did use the account during the year to switch money in and out. And the bank decided they were going to shut it down. It was actually a credit union. Thank God I have 4 accounts there, but they ended up shutting down one of my accounts, and I was like, oh well, all right, no biggie. I can live with that. You know, I'm good. So these are the things that you have to be careful of, guys. There's always something going on. Your girlfriend could get sick. Your girlfriend's child could get sick. You know, variables happen. So when you come over here, you know, you can't be selfish and just think about yourself and say, well, I'm gonna cover myself. I'm not gonna cover my girlfriend. That's kind of rude. You know, if you're gonna have a girlfriend and she's living with you, you know, and she gets sick, obviously you have to take on the responsibility to help your girlfriend or take care of her or whatever. I mean, that's just being responsible. Let's face it. I mean, I know there's a lot of irresponsible expats over here. Don't get me wrong. And that's their lifestyle, but it's not a good lifestyle choice to be like that. Anyway, guys, I want to throw that out there. You know, just be careful, guys. Plan ahead. You know, a lot of guys, they'll tell you that guys that live over here, they'll tell you, yes, those things happen all the time. Because they do. They do. There's always a calamity. I've had health calamities over here. Minor ones, albeit, and I've been lucky. But they do happen. Anyway, guys, God bless, and expect variables, you know, in your expat budget. And remember, always have that emergency fund. We talk about that all the time, guys. I have to hammer it home a lot. It's one of those things that I can't stress it enough. God bless, guys. Take care.